Sunrise Auto. He's in the studio with us, as he is every Tuesday. Matt, good morning.
Good morning.
You know.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
I found out just off the air that I'm not doing as well as you because I got a hub bearing that's going out.
That makes me do even better then.
Yeah, it doesn't make me better, but makes you better. But
I'm sorry to hear that, Tom. I'm really sorry to hear
I'm
that.
sure you are. But that's one of those things. It's just a wear item.
Yep.
These things have, my fiance, we were talking about this, we were discussing this. And, I'm itching to get a new truck. Itching. And she goes, you need to scratch that itch and not buy a new truck. Because right now, if I had to buy a truck right now, and I'd buy a used truck, I ain't never played. I'm letting somebody else pay the depreciation.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
My dad was a mechanic. He didn't teach me how to work on trucks, but he didn't make me a complete idiot either.
Right.
Let somebody else pay that drive off the lot loss of money. So I'd buy a used truck, but I'd still have to buy it and make payments. And she goes, how much they give you for the Cadillac? I said, probably $3,500, $4,000. She goes, so you buy a $30,000 truck. Now you got to finance $26,000. Do it over 60 months, about $650 a month. She goes, or you could drive the Cadillac, and when a wear item happens, I go, yeah, but that's expensive. She goes, well, think about this. How much was your payment on the Cadillac? I said $460 a month. She goes, now you don't pay that anymore. So you're not paying a little less than right at $5,000 a month, a year. You don't have $5,000 a year worth of repair bills. So you're still winning. And when I thought about that, I go, well, she's smarter than the average bear. Yes, because she's right.
Listen to her.
If it's just wear items, repair those as you go, and you're not making a car payment. That made a lot of sense to me.
I have a customer just last week. He had a 2006 Chevrolet 2500 four-wheel drive, four-door crew cab truck.
Right.
He didn't need an engine, but he wanted an engine. It's got 380,000 miles on this truck.
Not knocking, not making noise.
Not smoking, not spitting and sputtering.
And he wanted a new engine.
He said, so he started looking at what it would take to replace the truck that he has.
Right.
Would take $85,000.
100%.
To replace the truck that he has. And for $10,000, he could get a brand new GM engine. The transmission had been done about a year and a half ago.
He could get a new powertrain for $10,000 plus the transmission. What he paid for transmission?
Probably $3,500.
So let's look, 13,500, 85. So for about $72,000 less. Makes sense.
Makes sense to him. Made sense to me. And the thing about it is, if I brought that truck in here and if I taped the odometer and asked you, Tom, how many miles does this truck look like it have on it? I guarantee you, I'd bet you $100 to a nickel, you'd say this truck has only got about 60, 80,000 miles on it.
Right.
That's how nice he kept this truck.
The Cadillac, because it was a one-owner Cadillac before I bought it, and an elderly gentleman and his wife had used it, and they literally used it to go to the supermarket and to the church where he was a pastor at. And then they would go, out to dinner and stuff like that. Right, but when I bought it, it was 6 years old with 55,000 miles.
Right.
And impeccable, where he took it to the dealership.
Right.
Every time the dealership sent him something that said, bring it in. And we know the dealership will send you stuff to bring it in
every other day.
A little more than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And he went in and he got everything at 3,500 miles. He did the 30-mile checkup, everything he was supposed to do.
Right.
And I've done, I do my oil changes. They're a little more than 3,500, but I'm still using synthetic oil.
Right.
I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Make sure when I go, all my filters get changed out as they're supposed to get changed out and everything. And so what my fiance said made a lot of sense. If you're only worried about wear items and you take care of that car, I'm at 130,000 miles, 135,000 miles now. You would have no idea driving it that it's at 35,000 miles.
Okay.
So.
Well, we're going to do a little thing while we're on air.
Okay.
So what year is that?
2010.
2010. And this is a Cadillac.
SRX.
All right.
And it's the luxury one.
Cadillac.
You're gonna get the probative price on what it's worth right now.
Is it all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive?
It's front-wheel drive only. I think I've never tried to see. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think it's front-wheel drive.
And this is the luxury version?
Yep.
Okay, and it's got 135,000 miles.
135,000 and change, yeah. And it's got no damage to the body or anything. It's got one little dent about a quarter size in the passenger rear door, driver's side rear passenger door.
So you were saying that your car's probably worth about $3,500.
$3,500, I thought.
About $3,500.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the world that we live in today, I'm probably going to get myself in a whole heap of junk right here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so we need to keep this between ourselves.
Okay, well, nobody's listening.
Okay. Now, there's only 13 listeners anyways.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, 15 when you come on, but
Okay.
still.
All right, so in my world, in the world in which I live in today, that Cadillac, okay, now this is not punching in the actual VIN number. This is just going by what you're saying.
Right.
So I'm going to say that we have, and this is the average market on the wholesale side for your Cadillac today is $6,375.
Stop what you're saying.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Holy shnikes, Batman.
Okay, so now
see, now it's down to 24,000. Hold on.
All right. So just to give like a little bit of a history,
is that trade-in value? Is that wholesale trade-in about the same?
No. This is going to be a wholesale market value. So if I'm a dealer and I'm going to the auction, I'm going to punch in your vehicle into my computer, and this is what it's going to tell me that I should spend on that car today.
And then you're going to mark it up $3,000-$4,000.
Well, I'm going to mark it up however I need to mark it up, depending on how much I got to put into it.
Certainly.
But these are cars that actually sold in the auction, in the marketplace within the last 30 days. So here's one that was on June the 25th, sold in Dallas, Texas for $6,200. It had 116,000 miles. One with 138,000 in Detroit, Michigan, sold. And this is what a condition report of 2.6, which is not a really nice car.
No.
So that was sold for $5,400.
Mine's about a between 3.5 and 3.8 probably.
Okay. So here's a 3.8. Okay, so here's a 4.2.
Right.
With 90,000 miles though. It sold for $9,300.
Right.
So here's a 3.7 with 144,000 miles.
That's about mine.
Okay, so it sold in Dallas Fort Worth, sold for $5,900.
And I thought it was worth about $3,500.
So, but what's happening is in the market that we're living in, is that not only are your cars worth more, but so is everything else out there. So the one thing that I'm really giving caution to my customers is, like, if they're going to go look at buying a new car, just understand the one that they're trading in, the one that you would think is worth $2,000-$3,000, may be worth $4,000 to $6,000 just because of the market that we live in.
But the car you're going to buy is going to be $2,000 to $3,000 more as well.
Okay,
it's a wash, really.
And that's what. But the dealers and the people may not be so honest with you and try to give you the $3,000 for that car because that's what you think it's worth anyway.
Right.
And then now they just increase their profit margin by $3,000 on top of the $4,000 they're going to make when they turn around and fix your car up and sell it.
See, I had no idea. You knew that you were going to show me my vehicle was worth more than I thought it was worth.
And what you said, I do. I said, no, man, maybe about a year ago. You might have been.
And that's the last time I looked at it. About a year ago.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I looked at KBB about a year ago, and it was about $3,500, $4,000.
And I guarantee you, a year ago, a piece of 3/4 inch piece of plywood was $100.
No, it was not. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Sonny calling.
Hey, Sonny.
You brought up the topic that I was going to ask about. The new cars today, you wind up, you get it relatively loaded. It's around the $50,000 area. And yet the used cars are going for peanuts. It doesn't make sense to me, especially one, that has everything done to it. You can back up the records and so on and so forth. So, it's like Tom says, hang on to the old Betsy there and get it fixed if something goes wrong. But anyway, have a great weekend and enjoy hearing you on the air, man.
Thanks, Sonny. Thank you.
Is the used car market really going for peanuts, or is it? I mean, because there are some unscrupulous car dealers out there that'll do just like you said. Well, he probably thinks it's worth $3,500 because somebody will walk in and go, "Look, I'm trying to screw me on this trade. I know my car is worth about $4,000." And then I used to sell cars. I know that conversation takes place. And then you go to the sales rep and you go, "Hey, this moron thinks his car's only worth $3,500, $4,000. Let's meet it. Matter of fact, let's help him out and come back and say, you were a little saying you thought it was $3,500. We're gonna give you $3,800 for it because we're good people. When actually it's worth $6,500, and so they've knocked your head off already, and then they're gonna knock your head off again when they say something.
Exactly. So just be aware and be diligent.
Is KBB or Carfax and those, are they pretty close?
Nah, okay. I always tell people Kelly Blue Book does not buy and sell cars. The dealers are who buys and sells cars. The dealers is really who makes the market.
Well, where can the consumer then go to find a ballpark accurate figure on what their vehicle is worth? So they're informed before they go to buy a car.
And I think that KBB, Black Book, I think even Carfax, they can give you a direction. They can kind of give you an idea, but and I guess really what it boils down to, Tom, is dealing with somebody. It's like in my industry, in my world, mechanics don't usually have the best reputations in the world, nor do used car sales guys or new car sales guys or any kind of sales car. And I think that that's kind of changed over the years. I think that when I first started, the first time I went to an auction, I actually, I saw these guys out here, and I'm like, these guys would sell their mother if they could get enough money for her, I mean,
you never met my mom.
But I'm talking about these guys, man. Some of them, I really struggled with their whole philosophy and the way they did business. But I've been doing this a long time now, and in that time, I've seen people change. I've actually seen. I mean, there's still the guys out there, and the only thing I can describe them as is a dirtbag.
There's still the guys that put the sawdust in the transmission.
Yes, there is.
Like the old lady that sold Barney his car on Andy Griffith.
Yes.
They happen.
It happens.
But those are the people, those guys put a car out there for $1,500. $1,500 down, $5,000. When you give them the down payment, they've covered their cost. And that's what the down payment is for some of those guys.
So see, now it used to be that way. That's the way
it
used to be.
Of course.
Now even that market, even that whole philosophy has changed now. Now they're saying if we can get 40% down, that we're doing okay, that we're doing good.
Yeah, but the unscrupulous guys still want to get it.
Yeah, they're going to go buy the $300 car at the auction and turn around and sell it for $59.95 with $1,500 down and not do nothing.
And then hope to God the people they sell it to on the buy here, pay here weekly plan default, they'll go repossess it, put it back on the lot, do it again 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the people that give car sellers a bad name.
But there are even those kind of guys. Like I'll give you, for instance, there's a car company here in town called U.S. Auto Sales.
Right.
Okay, and they're up on North Pine, and I don't mind giving these guys a shout out.
Right.
Because that's all they do is buy here, pay here.
Right.
Those guys take care of their customers like nobody I've ever seen.
Right.
I'm proud to say that I work with them. I'm proud to say that I work with the guys over at Prestige. I'll watch Chris and Bob and those guys. I'll watch them step up to the plate and do things where a lot of the other dealers just won't do.
And when you say the other dealers, you're not mincing words. You mean all the other dealers.
A whole bunch of the other dealers.
Folks, just because there's a big sign out front doesn't always mean they got your best interest at heart. I worked for and I can't say who it was, I won't say that on the radio, but I worked for a very large car dealership that owns multiple dealerships around the Southeast, okay? And our whole job was no matter what it takes, when money walks on the lot,
that's right,
it better not walk off. No matter what it takes.
That's right.
And I sold cars. I finally got to the point where I couldn't go into another sales meeting and watch your general sales manager pull out the advertisement for the weekend and laugh and say some sucker's going to come in here because of this advertisement and think he's getting this car, but we're going to put him in something. And they would laugh about it. It was a game because they knew that we would purposely mislead and basically what's the term when you I forget,
Like bait and switch.
Bait and switch. That's what it is. And this was, don't get me wrong, I did this after I got out of the restaurant business when I was looking for a job in the early 2000s. It was a different game then.
Yeah,
It's not,
absolutely.
I'm sure it's not the same as much anymore because the consumer's gotten smarter with the internet helping and everything. But back then, I just couldn't openly lie to people. I mean, I literally delivered a Kia Optima for this dealership I was working for. And it was not in this town. I was not working in this town. So don't take any, there was no car dealer in this town I worked for. I was delivering a brand new Kia Optima, 2001 Kia Optima. Brand new. Got out of the detail, brought it up, put it in park. What I did, the whole steering column fell into the floor. They told me, go in there and install that lady. We'll get a mechanic over here. We'll tighten that back up. She'll never know. That's something that lady should have known. That was the final straw. I was like, because they were, if you tell her, we'll fire you. So I told her and quit.
I have seen.
But I mean, that's how it was done.
Yeah.
And this is a brand new car. And by the way, Kia makes a great car now. But back in the late 90s, early 2000s,
They were terrible.
they were junk.
They were junk.
Just like Toyotas and Hondas in the early 70s were junk.
Right.
But and I know you as an auto mechanic, you see all kinds of stories. People come in and say,
Oh my goodness.
man, I bought it 3 weeks ago. I bought it. He said it was in great shape, and I drove it and it run good. And now it's, the head's cracked, and I got milky oil in my water. And you've seen that.
I've seen that
numerous
happen.
times.
Yeah. And so, and I like to deal, like if you bring your car in to me, let's say you just need a battery. I want to sell you a battery that if there is a problem, like I had to deal with one yesterday. We put a battery in a customer's car. The person was happened to be in St. Augustine, and something happened to the battery. It just like internally shorted out.
These things happen.
That happened.
Not every battery is 100% effective.
So she came, and she lives in Palm Coast, and she drives all the way to Ocala to have her car serviced by us. And she came in, and she said, Matt, I had this problem, and I went and got a new battery, and I got the old battery. And so I called, and one of your guys said that you were going to service my car for free, and then and I'll give you back the old battery, and you can get a refund or whatever. And I said, absolutely, there's no problem. But I sold her a battery. If I would have had an opportunity to talk to her, I would have sent her right to a place. Because there's 4,000, where I buy these batteries, there's 4,000 places around the country. They could have put it in, gave her a new one, and she'd have been on her way.
She wouldn't have had to pay
anything. And so I like using. I like dealing with companies and businesses and get products that if I have a problem, that you don't have a problem.
How is it that people can now lifetime guarantee wear items? And I'll give you a prime example. My brake pads are guaranteed for life. But how is that possible? Because I know I'm going to wear them out.
Okay, you want to know how they do it?
Please.
Okay, this is how they do it. So the average American person has a car for how long?
About 3-4 years.
Okay.
That's the life. That's the lifetime.
How many miles do we put on a car in a year?
About 15,000, 16,000 on average.
So all I got to do is charge you double for the first brake job, and it covers, because the averages are within 2.5 years, you're not going to have that car anymore.
And then I don't have to replace brake pads.
Right?
Okay, makes sense.
Or you can go to a place where they charge you what they're supposed to charge you and still give you a lifetime brake job.
Good morning, you're on with Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Quickly, how come there's so many newer cars now that don't have dipsticks for transmission fluid? How can you tell if your transmission fluid is not right or not without being able to look at it?
Thanks for the call, Hugh. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a real good question. I can't answer that on the air because it's a secret. No, actually, most all of them they'll have a tube. They just don't have a dipstick.
Right.
So you have to have a scanner. You go in, you get the temperature of the transmission, we have a special stick that we stick in the hole, and it shows us a certain level, a certain number on this stick. And then according to the temperature that is showing for the transmission, it gives us a range. And that also allows us to look and see if it's nice and clean and pink or if it's burned up. So there are still ways for us to get in there. And a lot of these new transmissions we fill from underneath. You don't fill them from a dipstick and stuff. You actually have to have a special tool to put the fluid in there.
I remember the first time I saw something hokey like that was my ex-wife had a 2004 Isuzu Trooper.
Okay.
And to check the oil, you had to put it up on tilt. Remember, you had to pull the front end up to get it on tilt so you could check to get a proper oil check on it. And the Isuzu Trooper, and I was like, why are they doing that? Then I got a 2006 Ford F-150 quad cab, Eddie Bauer. And then I found out that the spark plugs last for 100,000 miles. But then Ford didn't sell the tool to anybody. You had to take it back to Ford to get the thing, because at the time Ford kept the tool as a proprietary thing, so you would have to take it back to them. And then their proprietary tool broke the spark plugs off half the time.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I love Ford for that particular.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I feel you, brother. I've been to many shops here in Ocala fixing broken off spark plugs.
Because you had the tool.
Yeah, and I had a.
But that's the first introduction, that Isuzu Trooper and then that Ford, that they're fixing to do things where the average person can't prop it up under their tree anymore and work on it.
Nope, they can't.
If you want to do that, it's called a Tecumseh engine on your lawnmower. Briggs and Stratton on your lawnmower.
Stratton, even at the Tecumseh, man. The Tecumseh, man, you can mess them up real quick.
The Honda engine on your lawnmower, you can't work on it. But Briggs and Stratton, you still work on it. That's why somebody goes, why would you, we're looking for boats, and my fiance goes, why do you want outboards instead of inboard? I go, because the inboard's pain in the neck. Outboards you can work on.
Now, see, I like my inboard. I got a small block 350.
But you're a mechanic.
Yes.
Okay? You understand inboards. To a non-mechanic, an outboard's easier to figure out where the carburetor is when it's not running right, because you just pop the top off and look. You can't do that with an inboard motor. No, if you don't know what you're looking for.
I like it. They say the happiest day is the day you buy your boat, and the second happiest day is
you sell it.
Man, I love when my boat.
What's better than owning a boat? Having a friend that owns a boat.
Nope, right here, buddy. This guy. I love my boat.
Look, when I lived on Cowpen Lake over in Hawthorne, you could do. Somebody said you shouldn't have a boat. A friend should have a boat. No, I needed my boat. I knew. Because there was many days I'd go out in the boat, go out in the center of the lake, throw the anchor out, and just lay down and take it in, brother. Because nobody was bothering me.
Man, I tell you what, when my car breaks down, I get one of my guys to help me.
Matt, where can they find you?
They can find me at 1800 Northwest 10th Street.
Matt gives Sunrise Auto repair with personal care every Tuesday. Matt, see you next week. That's the end of Ocala Talk. Coming up next, American Moms. That's the Stanville Sport Mark Record. Brought to you by Stanville Chiropractic. Level you up. Next, here on WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
How to care and plant a sweet treat. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Great news, Florida farmers. The Florida legislature has passed hemp legislation allowing hemp to be grown. The alternative crop of the future is coming soon to Florida. With more than 25,000 different uses, hemp is the less water, less fertilizer, cover crop you've been waiting for. I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Freed. Learn the facts about growing hemp at freshfromflorida.com today. That's freshfromflorida.com.
Peanut producers, fine-tune your farming operation with information gained at the 22nd Annual Southern Peanut Growers Conference set for July 15th through 17th at Edgewater Beach Resort in Panama City Beach, Florida. The 3-day event provides farmers with valuable information about peanut production, legislative issues, marketing, and promotion promotions. The conference is presented by the Southern Peanut Farmers Federation. Visit southernpeanutfarmers.org for more information.
Sugarcane is the #1 commercially harvested plant in the world. Growing in your home garden is not only possible, it's also easy. You can grow this plant all year round, especially if you live in a tropical environment. Sugarcane loves lots of sun. A little afternoon shade is okay, but not necessary. Plant in late summer so the cane can have time to overwinter and get established. This gives the plant a good 7 to 8 months of solid growth from early spring to late fall so that you can harvest after a year. Sugarcane can also be planted in containers. Use a nutrient-laden soil with lots of nitrogen and phosphorus. Keep the soil consistently moist and add a well-balanced fertilizer to the soil when the stem starts to sprout. If your sugarcane isn't ornamental, you may want to prune it to shape in spring.
At soupbeansurvival.com. And discover the
Gene Powell Pastumoy, 352-629-2440. A few of our tractor services include bush hogging, disking, and rototilling. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pastumoy, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Looking for an affordable way to attend your dream university? Start at the College of Central Florida, then finish up your degree at another university. Higher Education Happenings program Wednesday, July 7th at 9:35 a.m. features Dr. Alan Danoff, Associate Vice President of Arts and Science, and Dr. Raffle Robinson, Director of Admissions and Student Recruitment. That's July 7th at 9:35 a.m. Presented by the College of Central Florida and WOCA, The Source.
Hi, I'm Lori.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
We are
the American Moms.
Join us Monday through Friday,
10:30 to 11 a.m.
on WOCA Radio,
96.3 FM,
and 1370 AM, The Source. So that wasn't so bad, was it? See, you're gonna like radio. It's a lot of fun. And you have to talk. I can't, you have to respond. Just respond to me.
American Moms is brought to you by Stanfield Chiropractic.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.